You watching your commercial and hearing that about all these T-shirts that the workers are wearing and having a born and raised meal,
right,
is just a grand example of how fucking powerful the culture is. That's crazy.
Yes,
that's crazy.
I will say this, that when it came to me, I was skeptical.
Yeah,
because I was like, I don't know, is this, are we diluting? Is it selling? Whatever the fuck it may be. But
yeah.
But once we started getting into it with the people over there, shout out to Sean, and the way that he interacted with us and the way we had our conversation with them internally, like they were super cool.
Yeah.
They kind of let us do our thing. And the way it worked out with them internally was a reflection of how it was presented externally. And everyone loved it. People were hitting me like cool guys, like, oh man, this is, like people who are just kind of, reserve the right to tell you they like things.
Yeah.
People really like it. It had, people responded. Look at the sodium warning on the combo. It's a high sodium combo. Yeah, I mean, it went really well. It was great. And I got to make a born and raised version of a fast food commercial, which was fun.
Yeah.
Dead City Punks were in there. Fabian, Alloy. I'm forgetting a bunch of people. JJ, Big Ed. A lot of people came through, pulled up. Everyone showed out.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. People really supported us doing it, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a hell of a project. So anyways.
We see more of this in your future then.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's next? Maybe we get on the Arby's, get on that beef. We want to jump in on the beef while it's hot.
Yeah,
right?
I'm waiting to see McDonald's, or actually maybe McDonald's just gets you to respond.
Listen, if McDonald's had, and they're not going to do this.
Yeah.
But if they had someone smart on their marketing team, they would bring in Drake, be like, or Kanye. And they bring in Kanye because they already got an old beef. They bring in Kanye and fire back.
Yeah.
And they beef. This is the world that we live in now.
Well, Pusha T is Kanye's guy though.
It's Drake. It's Drake.
Drake is Kanye's guy now.
But Drake and Pusha T had the beef.
Yeah, they had a beef.
Yeah. I
think they still kind of have I don't think Pusha's like, just because Kanye's boys.
No, I don't think Pusha lets it go.
He explicitly explained that that's not like that. Interestingly enough, Pusha T wrote that da 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 da. I read that jingle for McDonald's.
The beef is it's a long-standing beef.
Yeah, well,
it's been simmering.
They just got him and his brother got paid a certain fee. I think Justin Timberlake recorded it. He got like $6 million, and they got maybe like 500,000, something like that.
Peanuts.
Crazy, right?
Classic. You know how much money they made on that shit?
Yeah.
On that simple jingle. Yeah. So if they come back over the top with Drake, I mean, and this is the thing is that, we're of a certain age where, A, you would have never imagined this happening.
Yeah.
B, it would have never been, if anyone done this, I don't know, 7 years ago even, maybe 6. If anyone had interacted with these companies in this manner, it would have been like, I think it would have been just quiet. Like people would have not responded. Now, the way shit is set up, it's like, that's the world we live in. It's like there's everything is intermingled. There's corporate to art. It's all fucking.
Yeah, it's all merging.
It's all merging.
There is no certain lane anymore.
Right. It's like you can't. There is no concept of. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to use these. It's funny, vernacular, but you can't sell out.
When I was a kid, my mom used to always, when I used to like jump from stuff to stuff, I'm playing baseball, I'm playing basketball, I'm drawing, I'm a gardener. She used to be like, oh, Jamaican woman, jack of all trades, master of none. And she used to rub that in my face all the time.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, I heard somebody in a commercial, I don't know, and they were like, yeah, you've heard the term jack of all trades, master of none. But that's not the end of it. It's jack of all trades, master of none, but a master of one is better than a master. I don't know, man. Some stuff like that. But it was basically saying that you should be a jack of all trades.
Yes.
What's the jack of all trades, master of none?
That is the phrase.
Yeah. Which is it's a whole phrase. And I was like, yo.
And that's stuck in my head my whole life too.
Yeah. And now you're saying it. Everyone's diversifying. Everyone's doing this and doing that.
This is the thing. If you can do one thing, like if you can, and I tell people this who are like scattered. Because like you have to focus on one thing at one point for a certain amount of time. So you have to say, okay, I'm going to give my life to this thing, and hell or high water is going to go. So if it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I got to make this thing pop. Once you make one thing go, then you can do all the other shit.
That's a fact.
Right? So notice that like if people achieve this happens to actors, for example.
Yeah.
If you get to a certain level of acting, you all of a sudden, if whatever the fuck it is, you want to be a DJ, you want to have a rock band, you want to whatever the fuck you do, whatever you've always wanted to do becomes a reality and you start doing it.
That's a fact. I used to work for Babyface. And
you did?
Yeah.
No shit.
And we were eating one day at Umami Burger. And, I was, at the time, I wasn't booking any jobs, no commercials, no nothing, struggling. And I was like, Kenny, man, did you ever have a B plan? And he was eating his hamburger. And in mid-bite, he stopped and, turned his head and was staring at me like I was crazy. And he was like, ain't no B plan.
Yeah.
He was like, either I was going to make music and write or I was going to die.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was like, that's just what it is. Once you say this is what you're going to do, you do it. I think I agree that, you just focus on one thing. And no matter what slings and arrows hit you, you just keep going.
That's why I stopped. When I was a kid, I started making music as a little kid.
Yeah.
And I got scared. I was like, I kind of looked at it. I was like, wait a minute. Like, the odds are so slim that I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
And I chickened out. And I was like, I'm not willing to put all my cards on the table.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to go all in on this because I feel like I didn't believe in myself enough.
Yeah.
If I had believed in myself more, I probably could have been like, I bet you I could have had a halfway decent independent rap career locally.
Yeah.
And I would have fucked around and maybe done something else later, but I didn't believe.
You regret it now?
No. I don't regret shit.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's just in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really regret things, but I do look at shit and go, damn. Like I will get jealous of people's lifestyles, or like I get jealous of people's professions.
Yeah.
Like certain people who can I think look, grass is always greener. It always looks better.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck someone else is doing always looks better. But I've always said this too. I mean, I think that there's a couple professions that I feel like are pretty unbeatable. Professional surfer being one.
Yeah.
I think if you love surfing and your job is being paid to surf and you travel around the world and you get a pair of board shorts and maybe you're bored if and then that's pretty much it. And you just go and you hang out and you eat fucking guava and surf,
Okay.
Like, I think that's an ill job, especially if you're getting paid a lot. Even if you're not getting paid, I think that's a good job. I think being a musician is probably a pretty sick job, but it's probably a lot of pressure to stay up, at a certain level. I think being a fine artist, I think could be sick if you're just like, because if you're a fine artist, you're either painting all day or you have people painting for you.
Yeah.
And you're just telling them, pay me a dog and I'll come in and do a little squiggle and I'll back off. And, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll come over here and put my name on this one. And,
yeah. Okay, so what about what you do right now? You don't think that's a dope job?
No.
That's some truth for your ass right there.
No.
Boy.
I think the apparel business is a really brutal, a grinding business.
Yeah.
I think that I love culturally what I do. I love making the media, like making the films. I love that part.
Yeah.
Actually being on set and making a film is the best part of my business, of my job. But all the shit that it takes to get to set and all the stuff that it takes after to get the film made is like pretty tough.
Yeah.
And then if you take that away from, if you took the media out of this company, out of Born and Raised, if you took the collateral out, I wouldn't be there.
You wouldn't be there.
Because I'm the art director too.
Yeah.
But designing under a deadline is fucked up because there's no room to because if you're a creative, you're a designer, it's like you want to be able to like chill out and experiment and fuck around and put on some music and be loose and like try things.
That's where your inspiration comes from.
Inspiration. Yeah. But if you're under a deadline, it's like, okay, we have a week and a half to finish these designs. It's just like, fuck. All right, I got to do it. Like, you got to chip, it's like, such is life though, right? I mean, you end up, I think when I was a kid, I wanted to be a workaholic and I fucked up and became one. So.
Yeah. Wow. That's deep ass insight. So with that being said, now that you're directing, right, this dope ass Taco Bell commercial.
Thank you.
And you're just, flowing into that. Would you leave the apparel business behind or would you do both?
I would definitely leave it in the capacity that I'm involved in now.
Yeah.
Like when I make a film, which I'll do at some point, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to be gone for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Just because I can't do both for that period of time. Afterwards, I could come back and manage and do things, but I can't be as hands-on as I am.
Yeah.
And I'm learning to let go more and more. And like, I'm actually actively looking for an art director to actually design. And like, I would take another step back, but it's a process. And like running a company, it's a village operation, and it is a lot of work. It's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of talking about shit that like, like I try to tell them like, can you guys just keep me out as many meetings as possible?
Yeah.
Like I don't, because every time let's say I'm like working on the iPad and I'm drawing some shit, right? Or I'm writing for a treatment or something that we're doing. Then I go to a meeting and I have to start talking about margins and fucking calendars.
Yeah.
And my brain just like, it just clicks off from that site, from that thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, I can't fuck the flow up. I know that sounds airy fairy, but like, it's true.
No, I don't think it does. I think that, we've grown up in this antiquated system that tells us that you need to bust your ass, become a workaholic. Shit ain't supposed to be fun. It's the grind or whatever. And to some capacity, I think you do go through shit like that. But I mean, I'm looking for the fun in everything, man. If I'm not laughing and enjoying the fuck out of it, I tend to like sabotage it and blow it up because I want it to be fun. Because life's too short for it not to be fun. You know?
I want it to be fun.
Yeah. And I mean, to get to the maybe you bust your ass to get to the level where now this shit is fun. Don't call me to no meetings.
Yeah.
Y'all do this boring shit. I'm gonna go doodle on a wall.
I would like to. That's the dream, but the reality is, everything I've started, every kind of company, whatever it is I've done, it's super fun in the beginning.
Yeah.
When everything's new. It doesn't exist yet. You're doing whatever you can. You pull, grab, beg, borrow, whatever. Do whatever you can to make yourself be seen.
Yeah.
And it's all this creative energy because it's brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you make it and you get the company established, then you're basically like, you're clicked into the system, and it's just calendars and deadlines, and it's just like widgets.
Yeah.
This affects this. I can't do this. I got to make money here. Bottom line, like everything becomes a business.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So like, and that's probably what burns out most artists, is that eventually it all becomes a business.
Yeah.
And I think there's only that fucking shit is loud, huh? I fucked up and I was like, why don't you wash mine while you're out there? I wasn't thinking.
So you probably to blame for this shit.
I am to blame for this noise.
No, dude, I agree with you. I think that, there's a level of seriousness that gets, you start off as a purist. You want to play make-believe and do all these fun things. I think that's where, a lot of actors go through that crazy transition. You start off wanting to play make-believe and dress up, and it goes from make-believe, dress up to your agent, your manager, negotiating a contract, being in this job, not being on this job, not working, having to conform to some extent, and all this shit comes in, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck is this? I just want to fucking dress up and play make-believe. I just want to be this motherfucking thing that I said I want to be. I don't know, man. I don't know how do you find that happy medium. I do believe it's out there. I do believe that you should be able to find some fun and still make some money, right? Because that's the idea. If you could just have fun and make money,
I think
and not
once
do all
you
other
get,
shit.
I feel like once you get your first kind of like chunk of cash, right, whatever that means to you, I think afterwards there's room to play, and I think you see people get off like they sell a company, they make some money, and you see them out there and they're fucking around for a few months.
Two-Tone, what is that to you, bro? You just made me think of something. What is a friend of mine, my ex-friend? He's not my friend no more. Told me that he was working for this billionaire, and he said that the billionaire pulled him and a couple other dudes in the room that worked for him. It was like, right now at this stage where you guys are at, you need to decide how much is enough. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, how much is enough? How much do you need to not have to chase any money anymore and go have fun?
Ever again?
Yeah.
And go have fun?
And go have fun, enjoy your family. And then he stated some shit like, I'm a billionaire. I've had multiple marriages. My relationship with my kids and my family isn't that good. People always want things from me.
Yeah.
Then he gave an example of a friend of his that's worth like $3 million, guy with a financial advisor, doesn't live beyond his means, travels with his family. And he's saying he's the happiest dude he's ever met. Mm-hmm. So he's like, right now, all of you guys, whatever, I think 3 or 4 of them, decide how much is enough. And when you get to that number, whatever number it is that you choose, right, you stop. And that's when you start really enjoying life and family, and go skip through the daisy field and lay in snow and make a snowman, all this stuff. Every time I've run that by people that have money and that are up and coming, they all say the same thing. Like, if I get 10, I'm probably gonna want 20. If I get 20, I'm probably gonna want 30 or 40. But ironically enough, all the super rich people that I've met, I really haven't met a really super rich, happy person. I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't really met one.
I mean, I feel like it depends. This is the thing. If your thing is just making money, let's say you're a business person.
Yeah.
So your art is numbers.
Yeah.
So that's your juice. That's how you get your accolades, is the more money you make. So that's one type of person. For me, I'm a creative person, and I want a certain amount of money so I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not have to worry about like a mortgage or anything like that. Like there's whatever that number is. Let's say it's whatever. Let's say it's 15 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But let's just say it's like I have a house for a couple million. I have everything I need in that home that's paid off. I have like, maybe there's a house somewhere else outside of the city.
Yeah.
And then the money for kids, blah, 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 all that shit. Let's say you have that. But the thing is, I'm not going to stop doing stuff because let's say I'm like, because I love doing creative things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to get to them, like for me, but I like, like my ultimate goal is to end up, I have a drawing I did of basically like my dream compound, my house.
Yeah.
And my ultimate goal is like to end up in this house. And one of the things on this piece of property is a barn. And in that barn would be, a studio, where I could sculpt, paint, where I could exercise, and where I could, if I wanted to film, edit, whatever the fuck, just a creative studio space that was on the same, and of course there's like a sauna and an ice bath and all that rehab shit, oxygen tanks, fucking hyperbaric chambers, all that good shit. Like all that shit's factored in for sure.
Yeah.
I want all that. Give me the NADs. Give me the whatever the fuck the shit is. Yeah. I want to freeze time at like, when I'm 54. I want to just stay in that fucking casing, in that hot dog skin. I want to stay there for the rest of my life. Right? I want to freeze it right there and be like, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look like a Ninja Turtle from now on. But I think, but I think I'm always going to want to do something creatively, whether it's writing or drawing or painting or airbrushing. I'm always going to want to do it. And I'm always going to want to probably put it out into the world and have people receive it. And what that means is that someone's got to pay for it to be received. Unfortunately, that's how the world works. Yeah. You don't want to be recognized when you fucking die. You don't want to be the Confederacy of Dunces. What's his name? The guy that wrote Confederacy of Dunces. He killed himself and now he's, they say he's a genius in the after, posthumously, they're like, he was a genius. Yeah. I don't want to be a guy who, I want to get my flowers while I'm here, as we all do. But that's all. And more, it just turns into like, especially in America, it just turned into, what's the dollar? Like, how much did you sell that painting for? Yeah. How much did your movie make? How many t-shirts did you sell? That's how things are commodified, I think.
You almost feel forced to move with it because that's the unfortunate thing. You sound like a purist. I'm a purist too, man. I believe in all that. Obviously you got to make money, right? That's the crazy thing. I remember driving to Long Beach, doing Macbeth and driving to Long Beach, and all my buddies were like, what the fuck you driving to Long Beach for? An hour and 20-minute traffic at 5 o'clock and all that. And I was like, man, because I actually love it. I complain while I'm on the freeway, but being at rehearsals and all that shit, it was just a high that I couldn't replace.
You love acting?
I love acting.
Okay.
And I would do it for free, I try to focus on the purity of it as opposed to looking at my peers that make it or make a ridiculous amount of money and look at them like, motherfucker.
Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? Now, consent is a hell of a word, Jason. You start with the C and you think about, con. You're conning someone out of their ability to make up their mind. And then you send them a bill later. Conning and sending. Consent. Okay?
Oh, shit.
Okay. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. I am not a fan of greedy corporations, okay? They want to take your money, then they want to take your genetic information, then they want to mine your data, and they want to create some sort of a golem made of all your data and your debt and your genetic information. Then they're going to clone you, and then they're going to charge that motherfucker for a membership to a gym that he doesn't even go to, or they don't even go to.
A golem.
Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about.
Like OnlyFans.
Like OnlyFans. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your account and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap.
So you just tell Truebill to cancel it and they'll do that for you?
You turn this thing on, you link up your apps to it. It goes through and it fine-tooth combs it with a magnifying glass. Like Lil Boozy with his, do you see Lil Boozy and had his son in a strip club with a magnifying glass?
I saw that.
It caused quite a ripple in social media that day.
Yeah.
Just think that Truebill is like Lil Boozy with a magnifying glass, and all the bills are women's privates, and he's inspecting. That's what he was doing, right? They were looking at
because he was saying what's the proper time to introduce him to that.
That's crazy. I don't know what he was. I don't know why he had a magnifying glass in a strip club because I don't need I don't need a magnifying glass.
But we definitely know why we need Truebill.
We do know why we need Truebill. Yeah, your Truebill concierge is there with you when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions, so you don't have to. Can we say what we just said in the middle of this ad read, Jason? What do you think? It's great. He loves it. Truebill has over 2 million users. Truebill has over 2 million users and helps save them over 100 million. So if I do the math, every person who uses Truebill saves $1 million. Am I wrong? No. Truebill has over 2 million users and helped to save them over 100 million. What is 2 into 100? That's 50. So every user of Truebill saves $50 million.
Collectively.
By that math. Collectively. Yeah. As a collective.
Yeah. I'm one of them. Like,
you oversubscribe, right?
I'm a super oversubscriber.
He's a super oversubscriber, like myself. So the thing is, we take the Truebill, we put it into O'Neill's phone, we go through all his applications, subscriptions, and next thing you know, he's buying a new Tesla because of all the money he saved. Think about if you're saving $6,000 a month, that could be one of those electric trucks. You know what I'm
100%.
That could be, I don't know, it could be a lot of things. Could be a whole series of wonderful hats, or could you just feed your sneaker addiction?
Could feed your sneaker
addiction.
Go
right into your fucking sneaker addiction.
All because you canceled your Crunchyroll and OnlyFans.
Exactly. You got to cancel the Crunchyroll and OnlyFans. That's a toss-up. I don't know which one goes first.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans got to go. Like Matthew B., who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill. I saved $120 for the year on my Sirius XM bill, and I saved $840 a year on my car insurance. Cumulatively, that's $74,000 that he saved per month. Don't fall for subscription scams. Don't fall for subscription scams. I'm trying to
Elocute.
Elocute, is that the word?
Elocute, yeah.
I'm trying to pronounce. My words turn into mushy bags of yogurt. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/PTA. Go right now, Truebill.com/PTA. It could save you thousands a year.
Thousands.
Let's do this. I'm going to do this with Christopher Walken. Don't fall for it. Could save you thousands a year. I don't know. That's bad. I never said I could do it well. How do you practice? What do you do to practice? Like, what's the acting? There's obviously drills.
Obviously,
right?
for me, I do free theater. I'll do theater where I get AE stipend, which is like hardly nothing. So you just do theater work to enhance your craft because it's live, right? When you're on set, there's multiple takes. So if you're on set, you keep fucking up. They say cut. Director comes over. When you're on stage, ain't no cut. You just got to get it done right then and there. So that sharpens your tool immediately. Right. And you're performing in front of these people. So they're right in the audience. They're looking you in the face sometimes.
You can feel that energy.
You can feel that energy. That's more nerve-wracking. So if you can do theater, doing television and film, I think is just easier. You just have to bring your energy down. There's no more projecting. But as far as how do you do it, man, I do monologues. I have this monologue on my Instagram called Negroes Doing Shakespeare. Mm-hmm. And I just do like classical shit. I'll rehearse it. Memorize it, beat it up. Yeah, I have this weird corner Instagram that I have with 4 or maybe 60 followers maybe. Yeah. And I just go on there and I just post me performing. Man, I just do it over and over again. I'll find difficult work. Sometimes I'll do easy work. Sometimes I'll do contemporary stuff. It's a myriad of things you can do, man. Just getting a fucking script and reading that shit. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth with your boy.
Yeah.
You know? That's how you practice, looking for different colors and beats as opposed to being one note. It's just a muscle that you flex all the time, and you do it in different ways, right? You put yourself in uncomfortable situations, right? Don't play the same person. I don't like that. I like to explore and do different things.
Right.
That's not to say if somebody pays me a couple $1 million to be me, I wouldn't fucking be me.
Of course.
I would do it.
But most actors is most actors, you realize that it really is them. Like most actors, you can see who they are in all the characters, right?
Yeah.
It's them being that character.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever De Niro is being this, he can change. He can go from mafioso to dad. But but there I mean, I don't know if that's a definition. That's not a character actor. But there are a lot of actors who you see, and you can see they come through it so much that you're really they're really being paid to be themselves in that role.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, I use Meryl Streep and Viola Davis as the two fucking finest examples ever. Because to me, they are opposite sides of the same coin. Right. Obviously, Meryl Streep is just a goddess and God, whatever. She's just amazing when performing, but when you watch her, she literally becomes another person, right? Right. Becomes another person. Viola Davis is an emotional storm. She doesn't become another person. She just is truthful in every fucking thing she does. Right. Like there's not a thing that comes out of her mouth that you don't fucking believe. Right. Which is just insane to me. So I feel like there are two different methods of performance that's just at its apex, Yeah, I mean, it made me think of, you ever seen how Jim Carrey can, because of the time he spent in front of the mirror, can literally change his face with just make his face turn into another face. Yeah. Like it make his muscles go, and all of a sudden he's just like, it looks like he put a mask on. Yeah. And that's because that dude's spent, 100,000 hours in the mirror by himself, just going like contorting his face. Finding every single way he can manipulate it. Yeah, man. That's a skill, but all those hours, man. A lot of hours. Yeah, a lot of hours. There's a lot of redundancy. Acting is, man, actors too, man. You got to be... I think everyone secretly wants to be an actor, number one. Yeah. I think everyone has this fantasy, especially here in America, that like one day they're going to be discovered for something. Yeah. Someone's going to roll up on them at like Trader Joe's and be like, you know what? I have a movie where I need to have a 19th century farmer who's herding a flock of yaks, and they're going to find Jason. You got that yak herding energy. They're going to say, we need Jason? You, sir. Yeah. And you're going to be, who, me? But secretly, deep down inside, you've been waiting for this day. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I think that everyone feels that way secretly. I feel like that. I feel like everyone has this like kind of secret dream of like being discovered in some way, but they don't want to. But then you take that whole idea, and then there's like 10% of the people who try to be discovered. Yeah. And then within that group, there's like 1% who are discovered, and then within that 1%, there's like a tenth of those people who actually make it. Yeah. So it's insane, like, right? That's fucking insane. The numbers are crazy. Numbers are crazy. And it's so much of it is like, it's showing up, right place, right time. Who did you know? How did you meet? What the fuck happened? It's luck. Yeah. And it's preparation for the lucky moment to be, It's a shit ton of rejection. Imagine being told no. That's all you hear is no. That fucks up your head. Fucks your head for most people, at least, because so if they do get that one yes, I think they make sometimes in some cases they want to make everybody pay for saying the no thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like those assistants, those people who are someone's assistant who treats them like shit, and then when they rise to power, they treat their assistant like shit. Yeah. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's an insane cycle. Yeah, I mean, acting. I had this producer, this buddy of mine at this production company was telling me that he's like, you should look into acting, and I'm like, why? Why? He's like, well, so you can learn to direct actors better. And I've had people tell me like, why don't you get in some of the things that you direct? And I'm like, I don't know where I would fit in it. Like I don't ever see myself doing that stuff. That's weird because I do. You just have a big infectious personality and energy. You know what I'm saying? But I can't always count on. Like there are days when I'm like, I'm not doing it today. Like I can't function. Well, I mean, that's I think. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's called acting, huh? That's called acting. That's Wait a minute. Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I remember I used to go to this cult church in at Michigan State. It was a cult. It was crazy. Sidebar. But I remember the pastor saying that he's like, if you want to know what you're supposed to do, a lot of people will be telling you that you're good at that. Like you'll get all this information from random people. Say, hey man, you ever thought about what's the cult church? It was called Life Changes. Shout out to Life Changes. That was like a long time ago. I don't know what they do. Oh, is it one of those like self-help kind of like? Nah, bro. It was a church on campus that was just like, it was just crazy cult. They wouldn't let people have sex. They would like sit in on dates.
What?
But then they would do incestuous stuff while being hypocritical. It was crazy.
What?
One of my best friends who was like an insane rapper and DJ. Like he used to, back in Detroit, there was this clique of dudes called the 31 Flavors.
Okay.
And that was like Eminem's Proof, DJ Head, Paul, I can't remember his name, the head of Def Jam.
Oh, Rosenberg?
Rosenberg.
No. Is that,
I think it's Paul Rosenberg, yeah. And they were all, this clique of dudes or whatever. And some of them went to Michigan State. And my buddy was, one of them. He could DJ really good. He was all into music. I mean, heavy into music. Just had that energy where you're like, okay, he's going to be a superstar. He's going to be a superstar. And he could rap. And we went to Michigan State, and I'm not going to say his name. When boy got into the church. And I started going to the church too. I went for the wrong reasons because there was a lot of attractive women, but I was in church. That's all. I was praising God. But I just started catching little weird things about the church, like you couldn't talk to the pastor. This is a college church, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like some mega church. But you couldn't get to the pastor. He was like the president. You'd be like, ugh, and he was a little short dude, be surrounded by all these big dudes. My buddy became a usher. So my buddy threw all his records out. Would be praying in the morning, night, at noon, night. Just became started wearing it on his sleeve. When you discover something new, you start.
So they wouldn't let him listen to non-secular music?
None of that shit. He would go on dates with girls, but a church member had to be on the date. We talking about 20 years old, right? But he would secretly be having sex with the girls. Crazy hypocritical stuff. So, I stopped going to the church, and randomly would go on Sundays, and I'd be going out doing my college thing. So one day, have you ever been to a black church?
Yeah.
All right. So, when they tell you to stand up and whoever committed some sin and do this, that, and the other, raise your hand and come up to the front of the church. That's the most nerve-wracking fucking part of the church. Like I'd be listening to the service and be like, damn, any minute now they're gonna tell us to stand up and come up to the altar. So I'd usually dip out before that time happened. Like, oh, I got this thing I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So that day, man, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was zoned out. The pastor was talking for so long, and I'm like, Before I knew it, boom, he hit all of us with, all right, this is the end of the church. Stand up, raise your hand if you committed any sin and come up to the altar. Now, I committed mad sin. So, I'm not coming up to the altar. I'm like, shit, you crazy. You got me fucked up. I'm not going there. So I'm like, okay, I close my eyes. People are raising their hands. The pastor is saying, oh, I see that hand. I see that hand. I see another hand in the air. I see another hand. So as he's calling people up to the altar, I'm hearing this sniffling, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? And this sniffling is getting closer and closer. And I start to realize it's not sniffling. It is sniffling, but it's crying. Someone's crying and just drawing the snot up back in their nose and whatnot. And the voice is getting, the noise is getting closer and closer to me. So I open my left eye and it's my boy. He's an usher and he's crying, snot running down his nose and eyes. And he's like, O'Neal, man, O'Neal, like loud as fuck in the church. O'Neal, go up there, man. You were just having sex with a girl last night. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, and I was like, this is wild. So I go up there and confess my sins or whatever. I stopped going. But anyway, it was just a crazy cult church. Come to find out a couple years later, everybody was having sex with each other in there. It was that, when you kind of put a lock on yourself and a restraint, then that there's this explosion of like bad shit because you're fronting like you don't do bad shit. Yeah.
Did you see that the documentary on the Nexium? You know about Nexium?
No, what's that? Sounds like a pill.
That was like a self-help. Yeah, it does. Sounds like a prescription drug. Yeah, they were branding women and basically starving them, turning them into sex slaves, and But the guy's pitch was so good that when you start watching a documentary before it goes bad, it's like the guy's like, "Do you want to be the best version of yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Like everything he said, you're like, "Yeah, I agree with that," Yeah. And you could see how easily you get fucking sucked into that shit if you're susceptible. Yeah. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're just like you're in some shit and you're eating saltine crackers and getting fucked in the ass by the usher. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
That shit happened. Yeah, getting branded. Have you seen, speaking of acting, I saw, I watched the last Fast and Furious movie. Have you seen the last one?
Nah, man, I can't do it, bro.
Bro,
I can't do it.
Listen,
bro.
I'll put it on. I made a friend of mine go to see part 2, and I was like, listen, back when Fast and Furious came out, I think it was part 2.
Yeah.
Too Fast and Furious. I go, listen, if you approach this the right way, you're gonna have a lot of fun. You have to go to this theater and not look at this as a movie, but this is kind of like a comedic action experience.
Yeah.
And we went there on a Friday night, and the whole fucking crowd was like, everyone was in on it. We were just like, because it was insane, right? And now at this point, I watched this one Home Alone, and these motherfuckers were in space. I'm pretty sure they had a Pontiac that flew into space to take out a satellite. They were in space with a car. Like it's gotten so crazy. It's like and I don't know. I think that half of the people watching it are stupid and just kind of like love it, and the other half are in on the joke.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everyone's in on the joke, but it's fucking insane.
I mean, it's such a. I know that it keeps getting made because it's a built-in franchise, and none of the actors are going to say no. I mean, it's an easy check.
No,
it's
for some of them, that's their only
it.
check.
Yeah,
that's their livelihood.
Yeah, so I totally get it, but maybe I need to go in on it like that. Like this is an action comedy, farcical, Benny Hill type.
It's a spectacle. I mean,
in space with a Pontiac.
They're gonna fight. It's gonna get into like something supernatural. They're gonna fight an alien, or they're gonna fight dinosaurs.
Yeah,
something's gonna happen.
Something stupid.
It's going too crazy.
Yeah, like Sharknado type shit eventually.
Mm-hmm. Or I think it's gonna be a merger at some point. Like, why don't you just take that and Transformers and slap them together? Because movies are only getting bigger and dumber.
Yeah,
and that's what works, and that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
Now I'm all for it because when it's done right, like I still watch the Thanos, the Endgame movies.
Yeah, which was brilliant.
Those things are like they're made so well. I can watch them anytime.
No Way Home was brilliant.
Yeah. I watched that shit. I put it on. I watched part one. I gotta watch part two now. I'm reinvested.
Yeah.
The moments where you're supposed to like, they press your button so perfectly. Like the moment where you're supposed to feel like, you were supposed to emote when they all come out of the portals. Like everyone, it gets me every time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm biased because I collect comic books, so
okay.
I fucking love that shit. I watch anime. My daughter, thank you, brother. My daughter clowns me because she's like, man, you're a grown man. What do you watching anime for? Been that way since I was a kid. So any of that shit that comes out, I'm already sold. Witcher, all that shit, I'm there.
I used to read comic books too. Like I used to read the Wolverine. I had the Wolverine book.
Yeah.
When he goes to Japan.
Yeah.
He's fighting ninja and shit. And then I had the Dark Knight books. Before they started making them, as movies, and that stuff was great because they were super dark. It was grisly. It wasn't like fucking bang pow whatever. It was,
I mean,
it was on some shit.
When all those Marvel writers back in like '90s left, Marvel informed Image and gave us Savage Dragon, Spawn.
Spawn was a big thing.
Wildcats, all that shit.
I have that one.
Yeah, I got that.
That's
one.
a good one.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's so many graphic novels that are out that are so sick.
They're so sick. And they're still remaking it. And they're still, I just saw the last Batman.
That was great.
And it was good. Yeah. It was good. And it's crazy because if like, I think once they started making movies out of comic books, Hollywood was like, wait a minute. So this thing's already all mapped out shot for shot in fucking beautifully illustrated
you got a
shot list.
Yeah,
you got storyboards. Like if you look at, was 300 a comic book?
Yeah, Frank Miller.
Right, that was a comic book first because you watch it and it's like you can just tell it's each shot is like a page of a comic book, frozen.
Bro, History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen. That was a graphic novel.
Oh yeah,
wow,
crazy shit,
some great shit, man.
Yeah, I mean we should do a read. We should do some scenes.
You want to do some scenes?
We should. Why not?
All right.
I mean, you're an actor. I'm obviously a brilliant actor.
Yes, obviously.
I'm obviously very talented. I've actually never acted in my life beyond like I went to a summer camp once and like was in a play.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's all I need.
That's enough.
Yeah, we're gonna tap into like I need another thing to do.
So let me ask you a question before we do that. Are we going to tap into something that's uncomfortable for both of us, or are we going to tap into something that we just feel comfortable with?
No, I don't want to do. I'm not there yet. I want to do let's do Fast and Furious, Sideways. Have you seen Sideways?
I haven't seen. I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
I just watched.
I read that shit. Yeah,
I just watched Sideways again. Yeah. That's a really good.
That's
movie.
when they went to Sonoma Wine Country.
They go to
right?
Wine Country.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah,
Sideways is so good. But I want to do accessible, easy things that people are going to understand.
Accessible and easy. I fuck with that.
Before we, Jason, will you Sideways? Fast and Furious franchise, one of those. What else? Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction will be dope. What else? Sideways, Pulp Fiction. You got any ideas? Throw some out.
The Dark Knight, since we were talking.
Dark Knight, I fuck with that. Okay.
But it has to be 2-person interaction. Obviously,
I can do that.
you just it's called sides, is what they call it in business.
Yeah.
Sides.
You went to film school also. We're all big film guys. Well, look at your vintage Taco Bell shirt. I just now noticed that. Where did you get that at? Hot Topic? I'm not even kidding. It's like a vintage 1970s Taco Bell shirt.
Did you wear that purposely?
He did.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
He likes to coordinate his shirts. He has this one shirt. He'll probably wear it for you on set because just so you know, Jason. Side note: Jason's producing Three Black Guys on the Couch, which is O'Neill's podcast. And
shout out to Jason.
Right? Isn't it? Am I wrong? Or you did the pilot? I don't know. I'm talking.
He's done 4 episodes already.
He's done 4 episodes.
He's done 4 episodes already.
What Jason would like to do is you got to understand, once you get to know Jason. Okay. Jason he's producing your show, okay, and he also is running his own show, which is called the Jason Channel, where it's like all inside jokes, little quips, little things that we're not always privy to, and he'll kind of prepare a whole other dialogue that's between him and his friends in his head, and it's running parallel to your show. So what he'll do is he'll show up to my show in a shirt that he knows that I hate it has a piercing on it with a pirate. You'll see it one day.
Jason, why did I not know about this?
He'll wear it to irritate you. He'll figure out what irritates you, and he'll start wearing. It's just part of his process.
I'm with that.
So let it wash over you.
That will mean that we're officially comrades, right?
Right.
Yeah. Once I start.
Or he's gonna school shoot you. I don't know. Or he's gonna show up in a trench coat one day and just air you out. Two-tone is two-tone. That sounds terrible.
Oh shit.
Two-tone is two-tone. Jesus Christ.
Everyone gets what's coming.
Let's do
Maddie really likes that shirt.
Maddie? Maddie's not on the show anymore. I don't know who Maddie is.
Maddie's not on the show anymore?
No, Maddie left a long time ago.
Oh shit! All right.
Maddie can't do the show. It's too. The thing is, it's too powerful and it's too emotional for him. And he got too pulled into by the gravitas of this podcast, of this show. You got a girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you that I have a theory. Okay. Mm-hmm. First off, before I even tell you about my theory, I'm not always good at being a boyfriend, and I don't mean that in a way where I'm like, I'm not talking about like I'm out here fucking around or doing weird shit. Yeah. I'm just saying little stuff. I'm not always good at being present and accountable to another person at all times, right?
Okay.
Which is kind of the deal. So like today she put me in a group chat with like 10 of her friends for her birthday dinner. And I was having a rough day. I was talking about it earlier. Like I gotta work on. I was having a rough day. I didn't get my sleep. I went to the gym. The gym was trash for me. One of those days where I was off today. Yeah. I'm like not feeling great. That's why I had to crush a Celsius before we came on. Shout out to Celsius, our new sponsor.
Shout out to Celsius.
And so I'm having one of those days. She puts me in a group chat because she's gonna do a dinner with like 10 of her friends. And she puts me in the chat, and I look at the chat, and I see the chat starting to go off, and I just leave because I'm like, it's just assumed that I'm going to be there. I'm her man, like I'm going to be there. Yeah. And I don't need to be here for all this. Just tell me where to be. This is your crew. Yeah. I don't need to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. And I probably was a little grumpy, but I just bounced, and I didn't think much of it. But it was like she took offense because it looks bad on her
that you left the group chat.
Yeah, like she makes it, and I'm in there for like a minute, and I'm out. Yeah. And I thought, let me just get out early before this turns into like all day looking at the phone of all these people talking about blah blah blah. They're talking about what they did in college, and shit like that. I don't always understand the repercussions. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. That wasn't a bad thing.
No, that wasn't. That's my no. This is the thing. On the scale, I do little annoying things like that on the scale. Yeah. So I think that because I tell her, she's like, I don't like that. I'm like, listen, we're good. Like we're not throwing shit at each other. Well, no one's getting beat up.
I think that we can't be drawn into. And listen, man, I'm gonna probably catch some heat for this shit, but I don't care. I think that we can't be drawn into this whole social media relationship connection. Like my girl a couple weeks ago was like, my love language is sending you memes. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. What the fuck does that even mean? Love language. Because she gets mad at me that I don't respond to memes. Like haha or hearted shit like that. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to be on my phone like this. I'm trying to wean myself off my phone. Yeah. And she's like, you didn't look at what I sent you? The fact that that is even a fucking thing is crazy to me.
Yeah.
You know, that I gotta be, oh, she sent me this. I mean, look at, that's crazy. Oh man, I saw that earlier. Whew, why did they do that? But it's all fake. So I'm trying not to do that.
But you're like, we're already here at the place where I'm here.
We're
you don't
already
need
here
to
at
know
the
that I'm here.
place. You know, it's kind of
That's
like,
funny because I sent her memes and she don't like memes.
yeah.
I'm like, and I asked her, I'm like, did you get that meme? But not in the way that your girlfriend did. I'm like,
Yeah.
did you see it? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, you didn't think that was funny? That shit meme, like, because memes keep me alive sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, so some of them are funny.
Yeah.
I don't hold you accountable to like the structure of our relationship if you don't respond to it. Like getting out of a group chat, man, come on.
Yeah.
You be if you do that shit, you jump down a rabbit hole and be going down all day. I'll try not to.
I should have
subscribe
said,
to that.
hey guys, I don't want to even like explain myself. I just want to be able to leave.
Wouldn't it be gangster if you could just speak your mind? Like, hey, I don't want to be here. Fuck this whole ass shit. I'll see you at the birthday dinner. Love you, baby.
I don't
If
want
you
to
could just be honest, man. Why can't we just be honest, man?
I mean, I have no problem. All the people are great. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just that today is not a day that I want to see my shit going ding because I'm in a call with my company.
Yeah.
I'm in a group chat with them.
Yeah.
I left my other group chats because I just can't handle because sometimes in those group chats, motherfuckers are like ping 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 like it's crazy. You put it down, it's 100 missed messages. Like I don't have time.
I'm on a group chat with they gonna be. Hopefully none of them are watching this. I'm on a group chat
not watching.
with Isaac and all of them.
Yeah.
And man, they will be like, oh, so you see that? You see that move, that position, and that shit. It'll go on for like one time. I watched it go on for a fucking hour.
They're going
like I
off.
watched it and I was like, I was in bed and I'm like, these motherfuckers been going back and forth for an hour. Did you see that position? Oh, he passed his guard. Oh man, that was a swell choke. Oh man, did you see it? And I'm just like, man, don't you got something to do, motherfucker? Does somebody got to eat or take a shower or pick a piss?
Who's putting the most work in that chat?
Man, let me see.
Don't I know it's not James Go.
Yeah. James goes. Yeah, sometimes he'll
Really?
go. Sometimes, but Rayhan will talk. Amadeo will go and he'll go. Listen, if you text Amadeo will text you for a fucking whole day. He messages you for a whole goddamn day. You be like, bruh, I gotta go, man. I got a life. But yeah, man, I try not to subscribe. Sometimes you want to be. I mean, hey y'all, if any of y'all watches, don't take me off the group chat, man. I still love y'all. Don't play me like that. But sometimes you want to just be like, man.
This is all just show. Also, this will get back to my girlfriend, of course, because someone's gonna watch it and tell her like
100%.
But she know. I mean, we're fine.
Yeah.
I just am constantly like doing shit where I'm like, it makes sense to me at the time. I could have done it in a more graceful way, I guess.
Yeah.
But then the other part of me is like, I'm also significantly older than her, and I just don't take it. I don't take this stuff that seriously.
That's it. And that's her world. Think about when answering machines existed, right? We were of age for answering machines. Nobody left a messenger in an answering machine. It was like, I know you standing somewhere around an answer machine. I know you heard this shit. Call me back. But when they do that on your phone, if they text you or leave a message and you don't text them back or call them back in 30 minutes, you get a question mark. You get another question mark. I know you saw this message. It said delivered or this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't like to read. I don't like to read. I don't want to be beholden to anyone's anything. Like I won't.
Yeah.
I don't even open my DMs for periods of time.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't want to open the shit and then have to respond because sometimes I don't even want to. I don't know what to say if I don't know you directly. Like if it's a DM relationship, sometimes I just don't want to. Like
it's a fact.
All this being said, like it doesn't mean that I like all these people. It's just me. I'm just a grumpy dude sometimes, and like I don't want to do a lot of shit.
We all go through that. Yeah, have you ever looked at a DM and saw it and like I'm not responding, and accidentally opened it? You're like, fuck, now I gotta respond. Hey,
yeah, they see
man?
you. Yeah. Well, see, I have a theory too of that. You know, because I'm older than my girlfriend, right? So I have a theory, and I've been practicing this with all my girlfriends.
Yeah.
You have to be in a relationship with you to do this, but I have a theory that if I can scare. Specifically a girlfriend. If you scare a person, this works too. But if I can sneak up on and scare a girlfriend, if they are truly frightened, I believe that I take a small percentage of their life battery, of their essence, and I imbibe it. So like if I scare the shit out of my girlfriend, I can feel her life energy coming into me, and it's going to extend my life. And I know it sounds creepy and crazy, but like I think it's part of being in a relationship with me.
Like literally, like sneak up behind her and like, that type of shit.
Like underneath, like under a blanket, in the closet. Like I will I'll melt into a wall and just pop the fuck out.
Yeah.
And if anyone's ever dated me has been privy to this thing, I love doing that shit so much. Yeah. And my current girlfriend doesn't really like it so much. She got anxiety, so she's like, she doesn't really love it, and I can't stop myself.
Because you feel like you're absorbing some of her energy.
Because I need her life's energy. I
so
need
you're
her
like
essence.
a scare vampire.
Yeah, I'm a fear vampire. Yeah, I need to scare the shit out of you. And if you jump, I'm just like, I can feel this. I'm like,
Has he ever done that to you, Jason?
I have scared you. Yeah, it's not as good as when it's a girlfriend though. When it's a girlfriend, you get more juice. I scared you once, right?
Yeah, I didn't know you were here for like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, I love scaring the shit.
So why don't you just take it to like, have you ever thought about, and maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but have you ever thought about taking it to the fullest extent? Like, you know,
like kidnapping somebody?
Like kidnapping her or some shit like that?
No, I can't. The worst thing I ever did was one day, I think we might have been having an argument or something, and I basically came outside. She was walking the dog by herself, and I came outside just in my boxers. It was like in the middle of like the winter, and I just came out from behind a tree, like that. And it made her angry. Yeah. And the thing is, like, I had to apologize for the anger, but I secretly pulled about 10 PowerPoints from her when that happened. So, how do you play a woman? Do you have an inflection in your voice? Or you just play it
I'm just gonna read it.
You're gonna read it as
like. I'll just read it. I think yours is here. I'll just read it as Maya.
Wow, this is crazy. The Joker. We should do this. Right?
Let's do that. There's Gordon, the Joker, and the Batman in this. So one person should be the Joker. So, I'm sorry.
Just started with the part where Batman comes in.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Who's the? See, I don't even. Who's the Joker?
You be the Joker, bro.
I'm the Joker.
You be the fucking Joker, bro.
How do you act as a Joker? And not reference a Joker.
There's so many different iterations of the Joker. You just got to be does it feel? Whatever you feel, whatever your interpretation of dark, sinister, psychotic, sociopathic.
Okay. So it starts here when the Joker's face hits the table, right?
Yeah.
After this,
where it says the Batman, Batman. I'll start.
It's going to be so hard to not do a version of what's his face.
Mark Hamill?
Heath Ledger.
Oh, because Mark Hamill plays the Joker more than anybody in all the cartoons. That's the version I always think of.
Luke Skywalker?
Yeah, he's the Joker voice for every single cartoon.
Well,
so that's what comes up with my head for some reason.
I think of Heath Ledger, and even this line, never start with the head, victim gets fuzzy, I can't feel the next. It makes me think of how he goes, never start with the head, victim gets fuzzy.
That's probably the last thing you should do, though.
Right. I'm trying not to do that.
Everybody's going to expect, if he fucking trying to do. Not do the Joker.
I got to do my twist.
Your twist of what sinister and crazy is to you.
Okay.
Whatever the fuck is fucked up to you.
Can I have a moment to get into
character? Take that moment. Go ahead. So,
what's your process? How do you get into character?
I'm just going to read.
You're just gonna read.
I'm just gonna read. I'm ready.
Are you gonna put a voice on?
I probably not like the whole. I'm not doing that. I'll just deepen my voice a little bit.
We should have done Bane.
Here I am.
All right.
We
have some backups. What do you got in backups?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that's gangster. We got to do that.
No Country for Old Men.
Maybe let's start with Sideways. That's an easy one. I don't have to be a character. I can just read.
Okay. You want to narrate?
I'll narrate.
Okay, cool.
Jack and Stephanie are gone. From a distant bedroom comes more laughter.
Looks like our friends are hitting it off.
While Maya goes to turn down the stereo, Miles sits on the couch. Maya's shirt rides up as she crouches, giving Miles a glimpse of the small of her back. She takes a seat opposite Miles on the couch. They look at each other without speaking. Just what is the vibe here?
It's kind of weird sitting here with you in Stephanie's house. Those times you came into the restaurant. It's like you're a real person now, almost.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. It's out of context.
Yeah, weird. But great.
Yeah, definitely. An awkward silence broken by Maya.
So, what's your novel about?
Well, it's difficult to summarize. It begins as a first-person account of a guy taking care of his father after a stroke. So it's kind of based on personal experience, but only loosely.
What's the title?
The Day After Yesterday.
Oh, you mean today?
Yeah, but it's more...
So it's kind of about death and mortality, or
yeah, but not really. It shifts around a lot. Like, you also start to see everything from the point of view of the father, and then some stuff happens, some parallel narrative or something, and then it evolves or maybe it devolves into a kind of a Rob Grillet mystery, but with no real resolution.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, I think it's amazing. You know, getting it published. Really, I know how hard that is, just to write it even.
Yeah, thanks.
Like me. I mean, I have this stupid paper due on Friday, and as usual, I'm freaked out about it. Just like in high school, you know, it never changes.
A paper.
Yeah. I'm working on my master's in horticulture.
A paper. Wait, hold on. A paper?
Yeah. I'm working on my master's in horticulture. I'm chipping away at it.
Horticulture. It's what like what Mae West said. You can lead a horticulture, but you can't teach her how to think. That's free. It's improv.
Oh, wow. I was like, what the fuck is it?
Horticulture.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Horticulture. Wow. Horticulture. Okay. Horticulture. Wow. I didn't know there was a college here.
Yeah, I commute to San Luis Obispo twice a week.
Oh. So you want to work for a winery or something someday?
Well,
listen, I have a copy of the manuscript in the car. It's not fully proofed, but if you're okay with a few typos.
oh yeah. Well, who cares? I'm the queen of typos. Wow, this is really starting to open up. What do you think?
Yeah, my palate's kind of shot, but from what I can tell, I dub it pretty damn good.
Can I ask you a personal question? Why are you so into Pinot? It's like a thing with you?
I don't know. It's a hard grape to grow. It's thin skinned, it's temperamental, it ripens early. It's not a survivor like Cabernet that can grow anywhere and thrive even when it sounds like I'm reading this. How am I doing? Am I doing all right?
You sound amazing.
I don't know. Maya, I don't know. It's a hard grape to grow. You know, as you know, it's thin skinned, it's temperamental, it ripens early. It's not a survivor like Cabernet that can grow anywhere and thrive even when neglected. Pinot needs constant care and affection, and in fact can only grow in specific little tucked away corners of the world. And only the most patient and nurturing growers can do it. Can really tap into Pinot's most fragile, delicate qualities. Only when someone has taken only when someone has taken the time to truly understand its potential can Pinot be coaxed into its fullest expression. And when that happens, Maya, its flavors are the most haunting and brilliant and subtle and thrilling and ancient on the planet.
I mean, Cabernets can be powerful and exalting. But
that's you're stepping on my line, number one.
Sorry.
I mean...
I just wanted to say Cabernets so fucking bad.
I mean, Cabernets can be powerful and exalting, but they seem prosaic to me for some reason by comparison. Well, how about you?
What about me?
I don't know. Why are you into wine?
I suppose I got really into wine originally through my ex-husband. He had a big kind of show-off cellar. But then I found out that I have a really sharp palate, and the more I drank, the more I liked what it made me think about.
Yeah, like what?
Like what a fraud he was. No. But I do like to think about the life of wine, how it's a living thing. I like to think about what was going on the year the grapes were growing, how the sun was shining that summer, or if it rained, what the weather was like. I like to think about all those people who tended and picked the grapes, and if it's an old wine, how many of them must be dead by now. I love how wine continues to evolve, how every time I open up a bottle, it's gonna taste different than if I had opened it on a day and some other day. Because a bottle of wine is actually alive. It's constantly evolving and gaining complexity. That is until, it peaks like you're 61 and begins its steadily inevitable decline, and it just tastes so fucking good.
It's good. It's got chops, this guy.
Scene.
And scene. What did we learn today?
What did we learn today? Don't step on your fellow actors' lines.
Don't step on my lines, bro.
Saying.
It's my Cabernet. I want to say Cabernet.
I want to say Cabernet so fucking bad.
Yeah, acting. I think that acting is. All actors are gay.
100%.
Right.
100%.
It's just kind of like the deal.
100%.
Like you have to, because like in getting swept up in the moment of acting, I wanted to reach out and touch your hand as Maya.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't touch O'Neill's hand because I'm not. We don't touch each other like that.
Yeah, and we got girlfriends, and they probably be like, "Yo, I didn't know." But then we'd explain to them that
we're acting.
And actors are
Because
gay.
you're making out on camera.
Yeah, you should know that shit already. Yeah,
but I think it's like as an actor, I think part of being in theater is like the willingness. I think as an actor, you have to have the willingness to do anything for a character.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
So if your character dictates that you're going to have sex with a man, then you do that. And like that's sometimes one of the greatest thresholds that actors cross.
100%.
Male actors, right?
Yeah.
When they play a role of a homosexual person or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to do that for this anthology series that got really popular. And I remember I went to my acting coach and I was like, "Hey man, I was younger at the time, so I'm from the hood. I'm from Detroit.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, so I got this
Plus
job.
Jamaican.
Plus I'm Jamaican,
Yeah.
and Jamaicans are mad homophobic, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I got to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? It's my first like job or whatever. And he was like, who are you to think that you're above the work?
Right.
It's about the work. You're making it about sexuality. It's the work.
Right.
So I did it.
Yeah.
So I do it, and I think nothing of it because it was small at the time, but it got really popular. So I started getting like messages on Facebook from a different community, from the LGBTQ community, to like fly out places and speak this place and do this. And apparently over in Europe, there's like billboards of me all over the place. They put a billboard of me up on La Brea.
What?
I'm talking about right up on La Brea at that theater, and it was me with my shirt off like this, with my hands on my hips.
Get the fuck out of here,
bro! I'm not bullshitting. And
wait, it was a play.
It was an anthology series called the DL Chronicles. And my I'm probably putting myself out here with this shit.
No,
the character was called Boo, and he's like this. It just discusses homosexuality in the black community and how we act like it's not there and we try to cover it up. And there's a lot of thug dudes that are really homosexual, but they're afraid. The down low guys who are afraid to come out of the closet. So my character was like this big dude who was locked up, just got out of prison. He was really on the down low and whatnot. When I shot this, it was my first gig. I was geeked to just shoot something. But I had to like simulate sex scenes with men and whatnot. And I was like, man, I can't do that from the motherfucking hood. I can't do it. This was years ago. So, the work wasn't the first thing on my mind. It was how I was going to be viewed.
Yes.
So I do it. I think nothing of it. Boom, this billboard pops up. And this fucking billboard was up for fucking ever. I remember being in California Chicken on Melrose, and the workers be like, yeah. I'll be being in Wells Fargo. Some dude runs to me like, boo, I love you so much. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? And so, I would get these messages all the time when I was on Facebook about coming to speak places. And I was like, man, I don't know what the fuck to say. Because I'm young. I was like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing that I did. Interestingly enough,
I'm not representing that.
Exactly. My father contacted my mom, was like, you see O'Neill on TV in the Batman, because in Jamaica, in the Batman, oh God, what we do wrong here? O'Neill, Jesus have mercy, And I'm like, yo, it's acting, they figured I went out to Hollywood and just got turned out in some way.
Right.
It was very eye-opening for me. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean that's par for the course.
Par for the course,
right?
man.
All right, so now we're gonna do.
Where we at?
It's so hard to play a film that I've seen a million times, like all these movies.
Yeah.
And to not, I was trying to do a version of Woody Allen in my read.
Yeah.
But I ended up just kind of doing a weird, fucked up version of Paul Giamatti, and it's gonna be so hard to not be Heath Ledger.
Yeah, you gotta get him out of your head, right?
How do I get him out of my head?
I just think that you have to bring what your interpretation of that character is, not Heath Ledger's interpretation.
I'm gonna fucking go for this one. I'm gonna fucking just. Hold on, make it.
Woosah. Ready?
Yeah.
The fuck, man? What the fuck is you laughing for?
I just
do it.
I can't.
But bro, that might be your interpretation of the Joker. He's a cackling, psychopathic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you might.
Maybe. Oh, I need to use that.
You need to use that
because I'm nervous. It's hard for me to commit to doing. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Here we go.
All right.
You ready?
Let's
All
do it, man.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. You gotta do it again.
Okay.
Hold on, let me think.
So let's have a pep talk. Let's have an acting pep talk.
Yeah, walk me through this.
The Joker
Never start with
is
that.
a sociopathic,
Right.
psychopathic, narcissistic, insane, unreasonable, chaos-loving demon. Right? He just loves chaos for the fuck of it.
Right.
That's just what he represents. So whatever your interpretation of pure chaos is, Heath Ledger's representation was this. Mark Hamill representation is that. Jared Leto's representation was more cool and calm and like the pimp. What is your representation of a chaos-loving demon who just wants to see the world burn? What is that? I feel like a motherfucking acting teacher. What you do tells me who you are.
All right, let's have you bang the table.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Never start with the head because the victim gets fuzzy. Now I'm doing Giamatti.
No, I mean, bro.
All right.
There you go. All
right.
I mean, everything's funny and crazy to you, though. Remember, you're cynical and sarcastic, too.
Right.
All
Okay,
all
one more time.
Ready?
One more time.
Yeah,
Yep.
ready?
All right.
Hold on, let me stop laughing. You're making me laugh. Come on. Okay, ready?
Never start with the head. The victim gets fuzzy. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know how to do this.
It was terrible.
It's so hard to do this.
Maybe you should start laughing. Maybe you should start like laughing uncontrollably, and then when you in that crazy laugh, then go into it.
I can't. I'm trying to do it seriously, but I can't. I don't have the.
He's a joker.
All right, I'm gonna have to do a comedic, over the top version of this.
Go right
That's the only
ahead.
way I can
Go
do
right.
it.
Go right ahead. Go
Okay.
right ahead.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay. Ready?
Never start with the head. It makes the victim fuzzy. You can't feel the next. You see?
You wanted me here. Here I am.
I just wanted to see what you would do, and you didn't disappoint. You let 5 people die. You let 5 people die. You let 5 people die. And then you let dead take your place. And even to a guy like me, that is cold.
Where's dead?
There are these mob fools want you gone so they can get back to the way things were. But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've changed things forever.
Then why do you want to kill me?
Kill you? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No. You complete me.
You're garbage who kills for money.
Oh, don't talk like one of them. You're cool. Don't talk like one of them. You're not, even if you'd like to be. To them, you're a freak like me. They just need you right now. But as soon as they don't, they'll cast you out like a leper. Their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. You'll see, I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll fucking eat each other. You see, I'm not a monster, Batman. I'm ahead of the curve.
Where's Den?
You have these rules, and you think they'll save you.
I have one rule.
That's the one you'll have to break to know the truth.
Which is?
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. It's like Seal said, you're never gonna survive unless you go a little crazy. Tonight, you're gonna break your one rule.
I'm considering it.
Well, there are just minutes left, so you have to play my little game if you want to save one of them.
Them?
You know, for a while I thought you really were Dent. You know, the way you threw yourself after her. Look at you go. Does Harvey know about you and his
Where are they?
killing? is making a choice.
Where are
You
they?
choose one life over the other. Your friend, the district attorney, or his blushing bride-to-be. You have nothing to threaten me with, nothing to do with all your strength. Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you where they are. Both of them, and that's the point. You'll have to choose. He's at 2050 52nd Boulevard, and she's on Avenue X at Cicero.
See.
Let's see.
That was good. That was great. That was great. That was good. No, the secret.
Dude, I don't know. It's wild. It's hard. Acting's hard, man.
It's hard, dude. Especially like when you got to just like, yeah. Especially when it's a character.
I mean,
man.
I mean, I would assume that character is easy to do because it's over the top. But
Yeah, it's a hard character.
pull that off.
What's this one?
This is Fast and Furious.
Oh
right?
shit! This is all Brian and Mia. Oh
Yeah.
shit!
You want me to be Mia this time?
Oh no, I don't care. I'll be Mia. I don't care.
You be Mia?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just terrible. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we're chilling, mariachis in the background. Mia's absolutely radiant, a sexy little dress. She looks salt from a margarita. How's my painting coming?
I haven't started yet. The picture I took, it's your expression. When I paint in someone's face, I'm really painting their feelings. You looked so content sitting there. I thought I'd just get a good picture. But there was so much anger in your eyes. What are you so angry about?
Come on, it's just a bad picture.
Miss Arizona?
No, I was Mr. Arizona.
Okay, you got me. I have a lot of family back there. Mr.
No, I don't. I have an uncle who watches out for me. My daddy passed on.
I know. Dominic told me. What happened?
A beat, and he looks into her gentle brown eyes. Some evil scumbag snuck up from behind and shot him in the head for a goddamn wallet. He'd have stepped up to my pops like a man, the outcome would have been different. He was such a good guy. If I get the punk who did it, I'll kill him.
How's your mom taking it?
Bad. They were super close. Still in love after like 30 years. I guess she couldn't live without him. She got sick, and next thing you know, I'm at her funeral.
That's so sad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be taking you there.
It's fine. It's part of who I am.
Is that why you're so angry? Amazing how folks leave their mark, huh? My dad wasn't there when he was there. Dominic worships him. I know he showed you the shrine. The only thing that made my dad happy was building and racing cars. Chased my mom off. She hid in New York or Jersey, not sure which. I kind of wish she'd taken us with. I kind of wish, Dad can be scary. I get it. Future looked bright for a while. We took it some strays and made our own family. Dominic got his operator's license and drove big rigs, and I was in art college. Speeding tickets and student loans kill those dreams.
Why doesn't Dominic hold on, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm really gonna go for this. Why doesn't Dominic race professionally?
He got into a fight and they banned him from the tracks. 3-point 2V6 with hot cams, sleeve imported. Tanabe exhaust, G-force chip, airflow intake, ball bearing turbo.
Dominic hooked you up.
I hooked me up, Ryan. I got grease in my blood, remember? Want a tall car? I can get that from anybody. I want more. Get in. I'm driving.
Let's go.